Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today we're ordering pizza and getting ready to ease into the weekend as Kasva, playing as the Red Lithuanians, prepares to take on TaToH, playing as the Blue Mongols. Now as the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to go up to feudal as fast as possible, let's take a look at the respective civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now the Lithuanians are a civilization that focuses on their heavy cavalry. Lithuanian knights, cavaliers, and paladins get a free attack boost for every relic collected, up to a +4 if you collect 4 relics. This feature also applies to their unique units, the Lechai, a heavy cavalry unit whose attack actually ignores enemy armor, an incredibly deadly, dangerous unit, especially in late game if your opponent has invested a lot of resources into armor. The Lechai just completely ignore that armor. To help the Lithuanians gather relics to get this free attack boost as fast as possible, Lithuanian monasteries do work 20% faster. Now, on the field of battle, to support their heavy cavalry, Lithuanian spearman line units and skirmisher units move faster and can actually be upgraded to get extra pierce armor. I believe it's +2 pierce. Now, to build a robust economy that supports their military endeavors everywhere on the map, Lithuanians start the game with 150 extra food, and they can be a pain in the ass to raid because they can upgrade their town centers to have +3 range, which may not sound like a lot, but in Castle Age, if your opponent is coming at you with mangonels, your town center now outranges those mangonels and is incredibly safe against them. Now, playing opposite Kasva, we have TaToH playing as the Blue Mongols, an incredibly fast cavalry-centric civilization. Scout line units, scout cavalry line units have extra line of sight. Cavalry archers fire faster, and Mongol light cav, hussars, and steppe lancers do come with extra HP, 30% extra HP. And the unique unit of the Mongols is, of course, as everyone knows, the Mangudai, a fast-firing, quick cavalry archer unit with an attack bonus against siege. Now, to support their incredibly fast-moving army on the field of battle, Mongol siege units can actually be upgraded to move 50% faster. Now, to help support their military endeavors on the map, Mongol hunters work faster, and their houses can actually be upgraded so that they don't lose population space if they're destroyed. So overall, today, what we have on this mega random map, which we'll take a look at in a second, is 2 very fast, very powerful civilizations that will require an intense amount of micro in the hands of 2 very experienced players. Kasva sitting at an Elo of 2344, TaToH 2531. So he is the clear favorite in terms of Elo to win this game, although as always, a lot more depends on the players themselves, strategies, etc., than on the civ features, at least in my opinion. Now let's zoom out. I want you to see this map. This map is a mega random. Basically looks like a meteor or a comet hit Arabia, created an entire dead zone here in the middle, filled with trees and crocodiles and relics. Let's take a look. I think I've seen more than the usual 5 relics on this map. Let me just double click. 10 relics on this map. So very, very important for our Lithuanian player to get to Castle Age ASAP to build as many monks as he can so that he can collect as many relics as he can. Of course, beyond 4, you're collecting them primarily for the gold that they generate. Up to 4, you can get that attack boost for your units, your Nightline units, and your Lechai. Let's take a look at the actual bases here. Red, I would say a pretty good base. No, easy to wall off on all 4 sides, or rather on all 3 sides. This might be a bit of a problem, a little opening here, although, you know, one house supported by a wall might help, but no, decides to instead carve out a pretty giant chunk of the map. Let's take a look. Apologies to anyone on a smaller screen. This is a good sized chunk of the map. I would say this is probably like an 1/8 of the map that he's carved out for himself. This mega random coming with a lot of zebras, a lot of food, as you can see, for both players. So we'll naturally, I think, favor the Mongols here with their quicker hunters, although he is coming forward, and TaToH very wisely kills these zebras before his opponent can lame them, although now he's got to engage these not horses on this map, but a 2-humped camel, a Bactrian camel, Both players have the access to them. What is going on here? I'm going to highlight. Red is trying to block Blue's villager. Blue is trying to block Red's men-at-arms, or rather militia, but ultimately the militia win, and Blue pays the price for it with one dead villager, now possibly a second. Camel antics happening in the first 9 minutes of the game. Let's take a look at Blue's base positioning while that happens. Much worse off. His entire north portion is completely open, very hard to wall off. Where is his primary gold? Is this it? No, this is just 4. Oh, okay, I guess in this map there's no real difference between a primary and a secondary gold. They both seem to be 4 piles deep, exposed in the front, kind of safe in the back. Kasva, on, in my opinion, in a much better position with his gold off to the side, not at the front at all, although he only has this 1 pot of gold. The other 2 pots are out here on the map, whereas Blue has his second very close, and the third one is pretty far out. So advantages, disadvantages to both players. In terms of spawning location, I'd give it to Red. In terms of resource location, I'd give it to Blue. Not a lot of stone out on the map. Red's got a little pile here in the back. Blue in the front. Also, though, has some in the back protected by a cowardly, or maybe not so cowardly, lion. Let's see what the players have explored of each other's bases using their Bactrian camels. TaToH has seen the beginnings of the outline of his opponent's base. Now he's coming with a scout cavalry. Does this move slower than the camel? No. Okay. The Mongol camel moving at 1.55 speed. And so let's take a look at what Kasva has seen. I apologize for that. So yeah, Red has basically seen the entire outline of Blue's base. So vision-wise, definitely goes to Red. Although we'll see in a second, he is... Oh no, he's going to kill the camel. Oh, sour death animation here. Kasva loses his only scouting unit out on the map. Now he is down to 0 army supply, although he's 1 second away from feudal. Does he actually care? TaToH has been there for a while. No army. Finally, a spearman being built. Let's take a look at their production, see which way the players want to go. Although, as I said, both of these are cavalry-based civs, so not a surprise that our Lithuanian is building a stable to the already existing stable of our Mongol players, sitting at identical villager count, army supply. Interesting. At 1 apiece. I'm not going to count the camel. I was thinking in my head for 1 second, should I count this camel? But aside from being an adorable little pet that seems to be following the scout cavalry wherever he goes, I don't think this camel is going to accomplish much. Although, you know, he could have maybe saved his villager here. So he could have been a defensive camel, but he chooses instead not to be a secondary wall off going down for Kasva, although it is only another palisade, while our Mongol player has gone full wall off in the full sense of the word, being an actual stone wall, expanding his economy. Left, right, and center are both players. Both, I think, are going to be carving out pieces of the map for themselves. Relics, let's see what the relic situation is. So you've seen the 2 relics over here. And more importantly, has our Lithuanian player seen relics? I don't think he's seen a single relic. Okay, so Kasva needs to get out onto the map. I mean, easier said than done, right? I can say that kind of stuff all day long. I'm not the one who has a Mongol watchtower being built on the perimeter of my base, a tertiary wall off going down as well, but still, he does not want to spend any stone because he already invested it in, I'm assuming, this tower, and that's basically it. Okay, she's taking a little break from building the tower to collect more meat. Villager count still identical. Army count still identical at 4 apiece. But here comes Kasva with 3 scout cavalry shoot away by a spearman with higher ground. Wise move here by Red to not engage into that. Would definitely have gotten... I mean, he would have killed the spearman, but he would have taken a huge amount of damage. Not really necessary at this stage of the game. And we'll see if our Mongol player, I mean, he's making himself at home, TaToH, building in houses, you know, a little community center here for his villagers to hang out with while he decides what his next move will be. With 4 villagers on stone, I wonder if that next move will be another tower. Now, these villagers kind of just hanging out idle, not really doing much. So he's down in villager supply, and he's got 4 villagers all the way out here on the map doing nothing. So in reality, our red Lithuanian, who is now inside TaToH's base, probably got in through here, is sitting at a huge villager, productive villager lead. Although he's got to be careful. This one spearman made this arduous journey all the way over to this part of the map, but he is going to get picked away at. I mean, the army supply here very much in favor of TaToH, although does lose a scout cavalry. Let's take a look at the actual HP to see if that... Yeah, look at the HP. We've got 270 against 100. He's going to discover that this part has now been walled off, putting himself into a corner. Palisade wall being completed here. He does not want Kasva to escape at all. Okay, not a terrible fight, honestly, for either player at this stage of the game. I mean, Red lost his army, but Blue lost a good amount of his army too. Spearmen being built here. Another tower. Okay. I mean, I get that it's to protect the gold. And this is what I was talking about, Kasva's base being at a disadvantage. He's got his primary gold nice and safe tucked away, but his tertiary and his secondary gold are completely exposed. This is not good for a civilization that needs gold for its heavy cavalry units. You know, you're not playing the Byzantines with endless amounts of trash. You need to reclaim this gold immediately. But does he even know that it's been taken? No, he does not. Why? This is why I harp on... Okay, now he's gonna know. Spearman luckily spawning right here and spotting this tower. Now he knows that the pressure is on Red, who is a minute and 15 seconds away from being in Castle Age. He has 300 gold. I'm hoping for his sake that that's for a monastery. But again, he's got no units out on the map, except for one spearman who's now running away from another spearman. Has not seen these relics, these ones, these ones. I mean, it's kind of sour that 2 relics spawned right next to TaToH's base without a parallel 2 relics being spawned in Kasva's. Let's see if I think TaToH, we saw his vision. He did see the relics before, but look at TaToH's map vision. I'm going to zoom out again. Always apologies to anyone on a smaller screen. Look how much of the map he's seen, and look at what Red has seen. He has not seen anything. He's stuck in prehistoric times where you did not go beyond the walls of your village. Although maybe he saw these relics. No, how sour is that? Literally at the edge of his vision. If he goes south a little bit with this spearman, he will see that. Anyway, we'll leave it up to him. TaToH also now a minute away from Castle, but Kasva reaching first with a massive time advantage, pumping out knights. He's on his 3rd knight already, and now he'll see the relics. Okay. Has he built a monastery, though, is the question. 2nd town center going down for him. 2nd stable being built as well. Unless I don't see it, I don't see a monastery here. I mean, incredible play by TaToH to keep his opponent contained. A 3rd town center, though, going down. Okay, he's going to take the stone. That's going to help him set up more stronger. More strength is not an adjective. Stronger defenses here if he manages to actually get this town center up. We'll see if Blue decides to contest. He does have a pack of roving scout cavalry to the north, to the east. And what is Kasva going to do with these knights? They are at a 0+1 defensive upgrade. TaToH, not a noob, decides to wall off his tower, but only with incomplete stone walls here to the north, which means this knight is going to be able to whack away at this town center quite easily. Not town center, this tower, rather. Ugh, and this is what I didn't want to happen for Kasva. Gets caught out in the map. Finally, a monastery going down, although no monks being trained. You've got the gold for it. What is he doing instead? Nothing, building villagers. So he is under attack to the south of his base. He has been contained to the southeast. And now his attempted expansion eastward has also been stopped. And now he has to make that hard decision. Do I leave this structure here or do I delete it? Never a pleasant decision to make. Oh, he's going to get sandwiched between spearmen and knights. Although these scout cavalry are much faster than both. Tries to Viper gate him in, does not succeed. Oh, these are going to be such a pain in the ass. I mean, you know you're going to lose these eventually. But the scouting that they're getting is just... I mean, let's take a look at his vision. Look how much vision he's getting. He sees the stone. He sees the gold. He sees 1,000,001 different things. This gate was not really necessary. It seems like he kind of decided to stop microing his units. And finally, a huge chunk of villagers being pulled off the production line to help complete this town center, which should go up in the next couple of seconds. Definitely by the time I finish that sentence. You know, this is like one of those fables, like, is the knight going to kill the tower? If the villagers repairing the tower, they're going to get stuck. An immovable object meets an unstoppable force. Oh, and now revenge of the camel killing. He's out on the map with... How many knights is this? He's got 6 knights. Okay, fervor going down for our Mongol player. But sorry, let me just let's make sure these knights can take on these actual scout cav. Not that they engage, they instead are continuing. So yeah, fervor going down for a Mongol player to add to the speed. His monks are going to be much quicker now. Lots of dots on the minimap, lots of action happening. Relic count 1 to 0 in favor of our Mongol player, who, I mean, take a look at the HP. It's at 78 instead of 60 because it comes with, remember, the light cav, the step lancers, they come with the hussars, they come with extra HP. Still, though, not enough to take on a knight one-on-one. So I don't know what he's doing here. He is definitely chasing, though, with this kind of quantity. I don't know, 6 light cav could do a good amount of damage to these knights. I mean, they will die. They will lose that battle, but you're trading food-only units for food/gold units, and now you've got... I am not going to counter your knights. I'm just going to try to make them mine. Blocks. TaToH with the blocking game on point this matchup. Does lose all 3 of his monks, though. Did he get converts? He got 2 converts. So not a terrible trade for TaToH. Not the best of trades, but not a terrible trade by any stretch of the imagination. He's now sitting 3 relics to none. Our Lithuanian player really, really needs to prioritize relic gathering, in my opinion. Just because, again, that bonus is basically the backbone of the Lithuanian army. But let's see what he actually does here. Instead, continuing to produce knights, not even going monks at all. Attack upgrades for our Mongol player. Mongols are just so much fun to watch. They're one of the OG civs from Age of Kings. There was a time in the meta back then, that during the deathmatch days, where people at some point got a little tired of Frank wars, one-on-one Frank wars, and so they started introducing other civs that had paladins. For some reason, it was just a thing to always make sure that whatever civ you picked had paladins, unless you were going Saracens and Mamelukes to try to just completely destroy the paladins. But, you know, people started branching out into Celts and into Teutons. And anytime somebody would play Teutons, it would be fun to see, oh, another monk going down. Blue is just losing a lot of monks. That being said, they are out on the map. That map vision, I mean, he's seen take a look at the minimap. He's seen everything blue, red, still huge dark spots on the map. I mean, we're 32 minutes into the game. His scouting should be a little bit better, but not... I mean, again, easier to say, harder to do with all these light cav, especially these Mongol light cav. I mean, first of all, look how fast they are, 1.65, and look at their HP, almost 80. But anyway, as I was saying, when people would switch to Celts or Teutons, not often, but they would, it would always be fun to play Mongols against them, because the Mongols could snipe Teutonic Knights all day long, and the Mongols, the Mangudai gets an attack bonus against Siege, so if you went Celt, you really had to have your targeting game on point, otherwise a just battalion of Mangudai would come in and just decimate your entire Siege-based army, and then you'd be left with nothing that really could contest the Mongols. In any event, I am going to stop living in the past. Blue chasing away red on all fronts of the map, except the center, where red has plopped down his first castle while I've been blabbing on and living in the past. Okay, finally reclaiming this gold pile, but how much gold has been teefed out of here? 800 here, 350 here, and 100 here. So a good amount of gold taken by TaToH away from his opponent. Always a good idea. Oh, escapes the firing range with this one knight that I think he converted. And what are the players doing? They're just roving the map. I think they both realize that there's a shit ton of relics out on the map. And finally, our Lithuanian player has a relic. And let's take a look at where are his knights. I want to show you. You see how they're +1 at the top left of your screen? There's not a single attack upgrade for them, and yet they're at a +1. That's the entire backbone of their heavy cavalry game for the Lithuanians. I mean, their tech tree isn't terrible, but they definitely are a heavy cavalry civilization. How many town centers do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 town centers for our Lithuanian. 1, 2, 3, 4 for our Mongols. Also getting a parallel castle. So we've established a little demilitarized zone in the center of, or not, this is not the center of the map, but the center bottom of the map. Lots of blue dots, and now we've got camels out. Fantastic play here by TaToH. He knows if his opponent is starting to go heavy cavalry, and here comes our first latest. I started a Reddit thread, I think about a couple of weeks ago, a month ago. I don't remember exactly when. All the days kind of start blending together as you get older. Not a fun thing to admit, but oh, the cowardly lion joins in. But I asked the community if there were any Lithuanian players, or at least players who spoke Lithuanian as a native tongue, or learned Lithuanian, how to pronounce ladies, because I kept saying ladies, and people were saying, what ladies are you talking about? We're talking about horsemen, not women. And apparently the correct pronunciation for one is a latis, and for many is a lechai. So that's what I'm going to use, unless somebody here is a Lithuanian from Lietuva who can correct me and tell me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. In any event, both players literally going up to Imperial at basically the same 6 seconds difference, and they're continuing to fight out on the map. Why are you exposing your monk? Go get that relic and hide. 2 relics only for our Lithuanian. He's got to get 2 more, but there aren't 2 more left. There's only 1 left on the map, it seems like. No, there should be. We counted 10 in the beginning of the game, and it's 6 relics for our Mongol to the 2 of our Lithuanian. So there should be 2 left, unless there's a monk somewhere carrying it. In any event, we'll catch up with the relic count in a bit. For now, Mongol camels coming forward, but running straight into pike. You do not want to do that as the blue player here. Knights you can fight all day long. Pikes are just going to decimate these camels. Not that he's engaging at all. Both players right now hitting Imperial at basically the same time. Upgrades going down for both. Infantry upgrades for our Lithuanian. Melee attack upgrades for our Mongol. Oh, what a bad engage. Look how much HP he lost just to 4 pikemen. Basically a third of his HP down the shitter because he engaged with camels who are also engaging here. Oh no, Mangudai pays for going a little bit too far off campus. This one should die as well. No, runs away with 2 HP. Beautiful. Put it in the castle, garrison it right away, heal it up with the monk, do something, get that HP back up. And let's take a look at army supply. Basically identical. We've got a monk, a knight, Mangudai, and hussars out for our blue Mongol. We've got light cav and pike out for our red Lithuanian. Army composition definitely would give this to the Mongol player, although army count in favor of our Lithuanian. So we'll see whether quality or quantity beats out. I don't know why that Mangudai was just stuck there. Tries to Viper Gate the the trebuchets, does not succeed, and now he's got a bunch of villagers doing nothing here. Blue coming forward with a huge body of cavalry. I mean, remember that Lithuanians, now that I've seen the Mongol hussars, first of all, let me click on these hussars. Look at their freaking HP, 118. That's the power of the Mongol 30% extra HP on its light cav, its hussars, and its steppe lancers. Oh, he is just overwhelming Red's position here. Even though army count is similar, where the hell is Red's army? There it is, a bunch of pike. Like, welcome to the party. Although blue is engaging into a castle Venn diagram of death here, not the best avenue of attack. But what I wanted to say, which Red preempts me, is that the Lithuanians, like the Poles, have access to the winged hussar, which is a better version of the hussar, I think, or you know, some people claim. It has a higher attack, comes with gun bonus against gunpowder units, which I don't really expect to see in this game. Oh lordy. Okay, and now I take a look at the bottom right of your screen. All relics are now accounted for. 8 going to our Mongol. Definitely, I hope I remember to check out the economy tab once this game is over and the parties disengage. Okay, let's take a look at production facilities and see, you know, how quickly they can replenish their armies once they start fighting. 5 stables, 4 barracks, 2 castles for our Lithuanian. Our Mongol player should have a lot more stables. No, you'd like to think so. 6 stables, not a lot more. 1 archery range, a 2nd castle being built, or a 3rd rather, in a very defensive hill. I love this location. Not only is it wedged between 2 castles to the right and to the left, but it's also king of the hill castle. I love those. I think those are always fantastic. Villager count, though, very much in favor of our Lithuanian, but only by about 11. Both players, funny enough, sitting at the same idle villager count, and now our Lithuanian player is supply capped. And usually in games like this, with Elos like this, supply cap equals rating. I would say maybe 140 villagers for him is a little bit too much. Oh, beautiful placement of these Mangudai. 18 of them stuck in a little laneway between these houses. Yeah, he's going to get a bunch of villagers, but he's going to lose these. It doesn't matter. I mean, these are units designed to die. The only thing you really need to ask is how much damage can you get before they die. Distracts him with 4 so he can sneak in with how many? 19. And now Red says you were expecting heavy cavalry. Oh god, the castle went down while we weren't looking. To how many trebs? Holy shit, 6 trebuchets for our Lithuanian player. As I was saying, he said, you think I'm gonna go heavy cavalry? LOL, absolutely not. I'm gonna take all the gold you thought I was gonna spend on cavalry and just dump it into trebuchets. And now I'm just going to come at you with halberdiers and winged hussars. Not a bad plan. But these halves have to be careful. They're going to get sniped day and night by 29 Mangudai, going up to 36. Chemistry, attack upgrades going down for our Mongol player. Our Lithuanian player now dropped below his 200 supply, but I love this. So keeping an eye on the battle here is one thing, but take a look at the left side of your screen. Not only is he starting to take the battle to his opponent, but he's also starting to encroach onto his opponent's space. But you do not want to leave your siege units exposed to a unit that comes with an attack bonus +3 against siege. So every volley from 34 Mangudai does, what is that, 102 extra damage. Oh my god, TaToH is just placing his units so perfectly to maximize the damage, but can he stem the tide? This is 30 Lithuanian fully upgraded winged hussars. Now, they do not benefit from the attack bonus that you get for the relics, so they're sitting at the +2 attack, so they're not as strong as they could potentially be. But my god, is there a shit ton of them. Although now he's just throwing them away. Not a fan of that. Okay, retreating home, taking a few swipes from a Mongol hussar. HP also not terrible, 100 HP on these Lithuanian winged hussars. And now he's trying to shift the battle eastward to this stone pile, which is not being mined at all. And he's instead running face first into a castle. Our Mongol player, though, now choosing the moment to snipe another treb down to... I was going to say down to 3 trebs, I thought. But he's actually up to 7 trebs. So not counting the 3 that got sniped by the Mangudai, he would have 10 trebs here. But what the hell are you doing? Where the fuck are you going? Why are you going into this dead zone with no backup, no support for your trebs against Mangudai. Look at this beautiful art, this game box art of just a flow of Mangudai. They're so beautiful to watch. Amazing. Amazing. Oh, let's see if we see a Titanic clash here. No, come on. You can engage. Don't be afraid. Trebs in the north. Unsupported. God, Kasva. Big mistake there. We'll keep an eye on that as well. But for now, these Mangudai just shredding through these Hussars. Not enough quantity here for Kasva. I mean, he's got 71 villagers on food. So he should be able, I'd love to see that go up to maybe 80. But he should be able to replenish these Hussars fairly quickly. And we saw him build more production facilities. But you know what he can't replenish? 7 freaking dead Trebs. At 400 resources a Treb. That's 2,800 resources. 1,400 gold. 1,400 wood. Down the freaking shitter. Because he did not support his Trebs with any kind of unit. And now take a look at the army supply. 65 Mongol army to 34 Lithuanian. Did he take too many risks? What the hell? He's building barracks. He's building... Okay, you know what? He's got 4,000 wood. This, even if you're not planning on using these structures, it's good to have them as backup. Especially since you're pumping out Hussars. Okay, looks like he's making an archery transition. Chemistry, leather archer, ballistics. Okay. Like I said, Lithuanian skirmisher units do move faster and can actually get more pierce armor. We'll see if he researches. Yes. Okay, tower shields. That is the upgrade that will give his skirmishers, which I see he's building 15 of, +2 pierce armor. So let's take a look. Right now they're at... Oh god, my clicking game. I gotta work on it. Okay, they're at a +4 pierce armor, even though they don't have the last upgrade. Once they get that last upgrade, they will be incredibly hard for these Mangudai to kill, and they will be incredibly efficient at just slaughtering the Mangudai with their javelins. Although, the one thing they cannot account for is the speed, the absolute speed of the Mangudai. My god, is it a fast unit. 1.54. Where are you going? I mean, the counter army here goes to red, but quantity-wise, this is terrible. I mean, I'm going to highlight all of this. Look at the HP here, not including villagers. Let's get rid of the villagers. 5,000 HP to 1,000. This is not a fight that red should be taking unless it's his goal to just distract blue for a minute while he does something out on the map, which he is not. Oh, a Hussar running backwards. Oh, he just threw away that entire force. I mean, it was trash units. Gave him time to get more armor upgrades and thumb ring. Okay. So whether the Mongols are standing still or whether they are moving, our Lithuanian skirmishers will be able to target them. Now he's moving in with 6, formerly 7, but like, take a look at the mini-map. There's just blue everywhere. Blue Hussars to the north, streaming in here, not fully walled off. Let's see if they can actually get into the main base here. They are taking a lot of castle fire. Oh, don't let them in. Don't let them in. Don't let them in. Okay, let's take a look at the speed here just to make sure what we're working with. 1.65. Yeah, it should be the same speed. And now the Mongols have completely turned the tide. But like I said, this was a brilliant move here by our red Lithuanian to build this here, because now our Mongol has to deal with this. So he cannot raid as much as he wants to. He cannot attack as much as he wants to, because he has to now focus on destroying stables and archery ranges. Oh god. Oh god, how many Trebs have died? Oh, now he's in the wood line. Okay, villager count, though, still ahead for Kasva. So I don't want to call doom and gloom just yet. Definitely not a GG moment, I don't think. But he needs to handle these raids here. Oh, this is terrible to lose these villagers here. Moving in with these winged Hussars. Their pierce armor is also pretty good at 6. He's going to get rid of all these Trebs if he focuses them down. And now I'm going to look away for a quick second because blue is inside. We'll do a picture-in-picture here and see how many villagers he actually gets with those Hussars. But, okay, come on, do something. They're doing a lot of moving, these skirmishers. Why are they, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why they didn't kill more Mangada. Actually, no, never mind. As the body disappears, the body of cavalry disappears, we see a lot more dead bodies on the floor. Army supplies surprisingly equal, or surprisingly close. Massive engage here. Oh no, why did he quit? Oh, that's a shame. I would have loved to see these winged hussars take on this army. Got plenty of resources in the bank, but no gold. Either Kasva didn't want to enter into a trash war with TaToH, or he saw the scores, which are like 3,000 points above, or he realized that an hour into the game, he's at 140 supply, and it looks like his opponent is not stopping, not relenting. Ugh. Look at this. Let's see how many kills on all these. 23 kills on these 4 hussars. That's not that many, but still enough to force the Lithuanians to run away to their town center. Raiding here, raiding here. A nice little colony of buildings here. I mean, Kasva played the, how do I put this? His structure game was brilliant. His structure game was amazing. I love to see this kind of play. 9 stables, 6 archery ranges, and 6 barracks. This will allow him to basically respond to anything the Mongols could throw at him. And the fact that he built it here means that his opponent now has a wall to contend with, not including the actual, stone walls and gates. He has to contend with this, and while he's busy knocking these buildings down, and by the way, Mangudai, I don't think get any kind of attack bonus against buildings. Yeah, 0. So they're going to take a while with their 12 attack against this building with 10 pierce armor. So each arrow from a Mangudai does basically 2 damage, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I'm going to assume I'm right because, everyone does. So he built a wall here to stop the Mongol from getting in, but, it didn't account for the Mongol speed. Would have loved to see a few more wall offs, or at least some attempts at a wall off. I think he tried to do that here in the south, but TaToH sniffed out the weakness, sniffed out the location of the opening, and just shoved his hussars in. 6 kills on this band, about to be a lot more the second they get into this juicy, fertile farmland here. And yeah, let's take a look at the stats. And yes, I do remember I wanted to look at the economy. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. 6,500 gold from his relics to the 1,600 of his opponent. So basically 5,000 extra gold. Take a look at that. Resources, though, on the whole, our Red Lithuanian collected a lot more resources. So again, either he just didn't want to enter into a trash war, or he just didn't want to have to deal with this kind of raiding. His civilian count is decimated. He's down to 74. So it must be that he just didn't want to deal with the civilian aspect of the game at this point. Because militarily, I mean, let's take a look. 28 winged hussars, 18 halbs, and 18 skirmishers against, 40 Mangudai, 35 hussars. Oh my god. I mean, obviously, numbers-wise and quality, you have to give it to the Mangudais. These hussars with their extra HP, 118. That's a tanky hussar. They are going to die, but that's the purpose of the hussar, is to die. The question is, how much damage can he do before he dies? And yeah, these Mangudai are just going to steamroll. So yeah, also on the military front, I mean, he's got the resources, but this is enough to build 21 hussars, and 21 hussars only. If he wants to build skirmishers, and if he wants to build halberdiers, that's going to take away from his food count. So at most, he couldn't really replenish his military that much. And so I think Kasva saw the writing on the wall, decided to GG. 256 winged hussars against 181 Mongol regular hussars, except, yeah, not really regular with the extra HP that the Mongols get. Not a surprise that APM here is pretty high, 190 for our fast Mongol civilization. As always, the faster civ always, not always, but generally requires more APM. Kill count, my god, look at that. TaToH, 523. Kasva, 319. civilian kill count is not far off from each other. 95 to 63 is not terrible here. Let's take a look at the production facilities of our Mongol. Yeah, I didn't really build anything extra, just basically stables. So with 3 castles, or rather 4 castles. 1, 2, 3, 4 castles and 8 stables. He was able, with all that freaking gold from the relics, 5,000 extra gold. My God, he was able to produce these manga dies for days. Remember, manga dies only, I say only, but they cost 65 gold a piece. So with an extra 5,000 gold, you can really build, what is that, 70 to 80 extra manga die, which is exactly why he's sitting on a 68 manga die in the production tab. What a fun game. What a fast-paced game. Number one, you freaking love to see these winged hussars. They're just such a pretty unit. Look at this guy. Such a fun unit to watch, but my God, did we see a lot of battle for speed. But Red exposed his base, I think, just a little bit too much, left a crack somewhere, and these Mongol hussars come in, got his economy down from the 120 plus that it was to 74. He knows he's going to have to deal with that. If he turns around to deal with that and this group of 13 hussars, he's going to lose the battle up front. Yet another Treb going down. My God, how many Trebs have died? I want to see if that's something that the statistics panel can show us. No, it is not. Okay, a lot of cool information here, but unfortunately, we saw 3 go down in the beginning. We saw 7 die in this meteor crater here in the center dead space of the map. That was incredibly sour for Kasva to lose those 7 Trebs, and now it looks like he's lost a whole bunch more. Overall, though, our blue Mongol TaToH just completely overwhelms, I think, because of the relics. 8 freaking relics. When's the last time you saw a game where a player an hour in had 8 relics, giving him 5,000 extra gold over his opponent? He uses that gold masterfully, builds only the buildings he needs. 8 stables, 4 castles, not even a siege workshop, I don't think. No, not even a siege workshop. And just steamrolls over his opponent, attacks on multiple fronts, here, everywhere. A random Mangadai here with 5 kills to his name, 5 notches on his belt. This TaToH, the Treb killer, is really what he should be known as after this game. And he just gets the huge W, but my God, what a fun game. GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.